Hey, this is Eddie. This is a video about Genesis 1, verse 1. And we are going to go line by line, word for word, to dissect what happened, or what the Bible says happened at the beginning, and see how it can be interpreted, misinterpreted, the different versions of Genesis 1, verse 1. All right, so let's start. Now, my favorite, or my preferred Bible, there are many different Bibles, many different versions. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I like to go as close to the original as possible. Okay? Why is that? Because in translation, things get changed around, letters get cut off, things get misinterpreted or interpreted different ways, and it ends up just getting watered down. I want the raw cut, the straight from the plant. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I use the Tyndale Bible, because it was the first version of the English Bible that was translated from Hebrew to English. Okay, a lot of people prefer other Bibles, and we will get into that. All right, so in Genesis 1, verse 1, it says, in the beginning. Now, this is the first translation from Hebrew to English, so they are going to be words that don't look like they sound, and vice versa. All right, and we'll address this. So, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. All right, heaven and earth. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now, let's dissect this sentence. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Nothing is before this. So, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Now, let's compare this sentence with other versions of the Bible. I like the site BibleStudyTools.com. I'm not affiliated with them, I just found it. All right, compare translations for Genesis 1:1. Now, Holman Christian Standard Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So this is different than, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. This says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So the heavens could mean multiple heavens, right? So it's very important to understand how important that is, okay? Because having one heaven and having more than one heaven is night and day, right? So Holman Christian Standard Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Another version, English Standard Version, says, in the beginning, comma, God created the heavens and the earth. Another, heavens and the earth. So which is it? Is there one heaven, or did God create multiple heavens? Because that's very important, because I'm I might be skipping ahead, but in the Bible they said that certain people will be allowed. Only 144,000 people will be allowed in heaven. Well, which heaven? Because if there's more than one heaven, then that's not a problem. But if there's only one heaven, then there will only be 144,000 people that get there. All right. So let's go another source. Let's keep going. King James says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." The heaven and the earth. So when it says the heaven and the earth, it kind of leaves room to say that God created something else, the other planet, right? Versus God created heaven and earth. Like those were the only two things God created, was heaven and earth in the beginning, right? So let's look at one. Let's keep going. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The Message Bible says, first this: God created the heavens and earth. All you see, all you don't see. Now it's added something else. All you see, all you don't see. Now where did they get this from? I'm not sure. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So, just scrolling, and they all kind of say the same thing, but slightly variations of it. In the beginning, God made the heaven and the earth. So it went from created to made. Now, pretty much all of them say the same thing. Now, this one here, Young's literal translation, it says, "In the beginning of God's preparing the heavens and the earth." That's unique. This says, "In the beginning, God made of naught heaven and earth." In the beginning, God made out of nothing the heavens and the earth. But another source that I like to look at is the Ethiopian Bible, Ethiopic Ge'ez English Bilingual Old. So we're going to go to Genesis 1. So this one says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." So it's all basically saying the same thing, but there are small little differences that can cause some scrutiny, confusion about how many heavens there are. Because one book says there's multiple heavens, one says there's the heaven, one says heaven and earth. So again, I try to go back to the earlier source. But we have the possibility that there may be multiple heavens. Okay? There may be multiple heavens. But we are going to stick with, or we're going to keep in mind that there could be possibly multiple heavens, but there's only one earth. There's only one earth, one planet. It doesn't say God created planets or whatever, but it is possible that someone can say they created heavens on different planets, right? But the thing is, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Not earths. And this is something special, and we're going to discuss this in a later video. Okay? So, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. All right? So, the next is the earth was void and empty, and darkness was upon the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the water. So that is our segue into our next video. Make sure to tune in to the next video. We will be talking about Genesis 1 verses 2. We are doing this line by line. Thank you for watching. I'm out.